Things are not looking too good for Sandbox or the rest of the alts for that matter. Where are we going next for the altcoins? Guys, welcome to Empire Trading Academy. Hit the like, hit the subscribe if you have not already. And let's get right into this analysis. Guys, we're going to look primarily at Sandbox, but then we're also going to look at the Bitcoin dominance chart and kind of give an idea of where we're about to go, both for Bitcoin but also most importantly, the alts. All right, so first and foremost, Sandbox here, looking at the daily chart. All right, our most recent price action, we had this downward, this descending trend line. Okay, we broke out of that. This trend line, multiple points, multiple test points here, used as resistance all the way down. All right, and then we came down to a few different macro supports. Broke through this one, some resistance here at this support, some pushback, broke through that, and finally found support here right at that, basically that 40 cents level. Okay, big bounce off of that. All right, and once we got the breakout above this trend line, okay, we broke out here, and then we put in this this top, right, this topping pattern here on this negative divergence. This could have been a nice shorting opportunity here, and we had a sell-off. Okay, didn't quite make the retest of this broken, this flipped resistance to support, but we got close, and we basically used this level right here at 56 cents, 55 cents as support. So got the sell off. Now we're in this rally. Okay, most recent price action. We've taken this rally up back into this flipped zone. So it was used as support for this top, broken down, and now we're in the retest using it as resistance here. Okay, now if you've been watching us on any of our social media channels, guys, we think that there is more downside to come. All right, I'm not going to get into all of the reasons, but we've showed you a million times why we think that. But specifically for Sandbox, if we're looking at this current price action, we have this short-term rally up into resistance. Okay, so we have this pretty gnarly wick right here. This is the most recent daily candle. Pretty nasty wick right here, showing selling pressure at this level. Okay, so in this supply zone here, we've gotten rejected as of right now. Okay, so not only do we have that supply level, we have these two big moving averages. Yellow is going to be the 50-day moving average. These are simple, not exponential. And then this blue line is going to be the 200-day moving average. All right. So you can see that both of them coincide. They're basically virtually, these averages are pretty much the same right now, but we're also using those as resistance as well. Okay, so we tried to push above all three of these resistances, okay, but ultimately got rejected here. All right, so this is a big sign for me that there's a lot of selling pressure here, and in my opinion, it would take a lot to push out above this. Okay, doesn't mean that we can't have, maybe we close today something with a candle, something looking like this. We open up right wherever this closes. We open up here, maybe we try another day to push up, and then we get a double wick, okay, and then that gives another signal for selling, okay, and another sell-off coming off here, okay. That's entirely possible, but we need to look at this in reference to Bitcoin as well. So if you've been paying attention at all, Bitcoin has been moving much more than the alts. And how can we look at this? We can look at this by looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart. Okay. And this is what our Bitcoin dominance chart looks like. Okay. So since early on in, well, we'll say between early and mid. So we'll say May of 2021. Okay. So we've established this range of Bitcoin dominance between Bitcoin and the altcoins. Okay. So we know that Bitcoin has been absolutely running, right? So that's been absolutely running. Altcoins have not been moving as much. They've been pushing up. Obviously, they're going to do that with Bitcoin. They're not going to do completely the opposite. But Bitcoin has been moving more than the alts. And we can see that in this Bitcoin dominance chart, where the dominance of Bitcoin is increasing more than the alts. So of the total crypto market cap. Okay, that's what the dominance measures. So we push up, push up because Bitcoin is taking more dominance of the total market cap. Okay, now since we have established this range, right? More than likely what's going to happen is we're going to continue to push up. We don't have any sort of negative divergences here. We're going to continue to push up and push into this resistance. And so remember, this is the dominance. So this is saying that Bitcoin is going to continue to eat up more of the total crypto market cap. So if alts are going up 2% or 3%, Bitcoin is going to move 7 or 8%. Okay. That's obviously an example, but you get the idea that it's going to be moving up more than altcoins, okay? And we can see that in this chart. And so if that were to happen, Bitcoin needs to gain more dominance. So Bitcoin could continue to push higher in the short term up into this resistance, okay? Which, let's go ahead and I'm going to show you these side by side. Go back down to Sandbox. Okay, and so now we have Sandbox on this side. Sandbox here, dominance, Bitcoin dominance here. Okay, so Bitcoin can continue to push higher in the short term, but our alts like Sandbox are not going to move up as much. So while Bitcoin moves up into resistance to gain to gain in market dominance, we could see a little bit higher, right, on Sand and other altcoins. But then once we come into this resistance, we're most likely going to get a sell-off in most of the market. Okay, so this could also show where this matches up with here, where we get this sell-off in the altcoins as well. Okay, so we're going to get a heavy sell-off in both Bitcoin and altcoins. Okay, this is our idea, guys. Again, you know, if we look at Bitcoin really quickly, you know what our idea is as far as Bitcoin, right? Okay. Now, as far as this white line, so we've pushed up above this slightly, okay? We've pushed above the 2618, okay? And we're coming into this resistance zone here, okay? We could push into this 3618, right? That's a possibility. This also, right in here, there is a gap to fill, okay, in futures. So there's a gap to fill right in here. We could fill that and then push down. Okay, that's a possibility. So all of these are still in play. We still have a bearish narrative because we think that that's what the chart shows. We think that that is what the sentiment is calling for. But remember, even though we have those bearish sentiments, guys, we still, for our long-term plays, we still accumulated both alts and Bitcoin virtually near the lows. So we have a bunch of orders that we put in below 1600. I can't remember right off the top, but they're in the 15,000s. Excuse me, 15,000. In the 15,000s, just below 15. And in between 15 and 17,000 for Bitcoin, and then near those lows for alts as well. So remember, even though we have this bearish narrative that we think that we're going lower, in terms of our longer term holds and our longer term plays, remember, nobody is always right. You're going to be wrong a lot of the time. It's just about how you manage those positions. So for long-term holds, I'm never going to wait for an absolute bottom. I'm going to start to DCA in at good I'm not going to call it a bottom, but good points of when large sell-offs have happened. So if we're 70% off the high, that's in terms of Bitcoin, not everything that you trade, but if we're 70% off the high in a cyclical asset like Bitcoin, that's going to be an excellent time to start accumulating and opening up positions. Because if we go back into the previous cycle, right? Imagine if you started to accumulate in this range. Okay, sure, we dumped, right? And you could buy more down there because remember, you don't want it to go up immediately, right? And so you start accumulating here. We dump, okay, so your unrealized profit or your unrealized is in a loss, okay? But then what happens when you continue to hold? You still have virtually the entire bull run that you just made, okay? So remember, think about these areas where you can start to accumulate and do not care for the long term if they go negative into an unrealized loss, okay? Because what if this is wrong? This could definitely be wrong, right? And this could absolutely be the bottom. And now we just go ahead and we take off. I can't remember his name offhand, but he just placed $1 million or $2 million bets that Bitcoin is going to hit 1 million in 90 days. Okay. I don't know where he's getting that from, and it's highly unlikely, but even just that could stimulate some sentiment in the market of, oh, I got to get, if Bitcoin's going to 1 million, I got to get in before, and that could even cause some retail FOMO and start to push this thing higher. But anyway, okay, so always accumulate at good points. Okay, it doesn't need to be the absolute low, and you can keep some on. Remember to always have cash flow. Always have cash flow coming in, so you have, so you can continue. If you do go lower, that you do have more to put in at those lower levels. All right, we got off on a little bit of a tangent, but I think it's really important to understand this. Guys, remember, check out the website, guys, if you guys are having trouble gaining consistency in the market. Again, it doesn't matter what the market is doing. You can have a strategy to trade no matter if the market's going up, down, sideways. There's ways to trade everything. Go check out our website. We'll have the link in the description to give you just really good tools to help you improve your trading. And let us know if you have any questions at all, guys. We want to be here. We're here to help, and we want to help. All right, guys. Appreciate you sticking around, and we'll see you in the next video.